All right.
All
Zach,
right.
take it away.
All right, everybody. Welcome to WHI Radio. I know the name's a little different. There's well, I guess long story short on that, there's another podcast crew that we have issues, so we had to switch it up. So instead of the we have issues now, it's just kind of in the acronym form, WHI Radio. So again, welcome guys to episode 4.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. That is we do this now for a month.
Yep, that's 4 weeks now. 4 weeks straight. The one consistent thing I'd say we got.
Yeah. How's the lighting look? Like how does the it's the blur on my for some reason, but maybe because of my let me see here. Yeah, that's why. 1 second. Grab this real quick. Oh, perfect. Okay, nice. Nice.
Okay.
What's going on, chat?
As long as everybody can see us clearly.
Anyway, chat, episode 4 though, dude. Going on a month now doing this. Whole month, right?
Oh yeah.
Got the haircut, got the little sides trimmed up.
Oh yeah.
Don't have that crazy look anymore. Oh man.
Oh, Hassan, that the game that I usually play on Discord is it's Forza Horizon 5.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah,
I'm getting into a few other ones too. Yeah, that's my little side project. Currently working on the sim room. Actually, the progress is quite good. Actually.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to see that when it gets that done.
Horizon 5.
But yeah, James has been working on the room downstairs, and I didn't even realize that. I think it has a lot of space in
there. Didn't realize it existed. I know.
Yeah, it's just like that one room you just don't ever want to go into. You're like,
oh man, the amount of dirt and clutter in there was disgusting. It's been untouched for probably at least a couple of years before we even moved in. So, yeah, it's all cleaned out now. Now it's time to seal it, paint it, and get it all insulated. That's just one of those projects for 2023.
Yeah,
it's all about making goals. We kind of covered that in the previous episode. It's good to have goals and actually follow through with them.
Yeah, 100%. I need to stop being lazy at points and get some of my stuff. So
if you could talk a little louder into the microphone. And actually, yep. Until we get better audio.
Right. No, it'll get better.
Yeah, until we have to. We share the mic now, so yeah, please, yeah. For our viewers in the audio.
Yeah. So how does the lighting look, though, guys? Does it look better? Does it look more crisp? Yo, Pushy, how you doing, homie? I just want to. Does it look like the camera folks look a little bit better? Oh, thanks, Pushy. Appreciate that, bud. But from your guys' angle, because I got the ring light looks better. All right, sweet. That is perfect. Okay. But yeah, anyways, episode 4, man.
Episode 4. So in the description, no one ever checks them out, anyways. But it's almost a whole month into the new year, 2023, and of course, as usual, we're feeling pretty nostalgic, and we did cover the 90s, and we've covered a lot of our retro themed stuff, I guess you could say. But yeah, we're going for the 2000s now. Y2K.
Yeah, I was gonna say Y2K. I mean, that was a thing.
Y2K.
I know my parents freaked out about that. That was when my mom was still alive.
No, it was an actual thing that I've seen a lot of Y2K compliant machines and a lot of just odd things like I mean, honestly, they weren't sure what was going to happen. The machine's going to take over? Is everything just going to break?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
It was an algorithm. It was a binary algorithm that they just didn't account for. I guess
it was weird. I know it was just kind of all said and done with that. Like we were freaking out about it, and I remember I was still a kid, and people were worried about that. I was just worried about fucking getting Pokemon cards or just like hanging out with friends.
Right, getting Pokemon cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, man. That was my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think back then, like, we didn't really care about Y2K. I sure
Well,
I don't
no,
even
because
remember it.
we weren't adults.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
We didn't have to
my
worry.
mind doesn't even recollect it. I know my mom and my dad were freaking out about it, and like, I just didn't care. I'm like,
No, it was insane. It was adult like when you look back when at events, right? Where you're like, oh man, I was so worried, and once it passes, just as like a lot of conspiracy theories have always said, oh, the world's ending on this date. What was it? December 12th, 21,
yep,
12, 12, 12, 21,
yep.
12 or some shit like that. I don't know. But oh, we made a mistake. We're changing it again. Well, I mean, yeah, we've been through hell. It's gonna end with a few presses of some buttons. That's how it's gonna go.
Right.
But
I mean, if we ever get to that point,
yeah, I mean, fuck it. I want to enjoy every minute of it while I'm here.
all right. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, we've been hearing a lot of stuff, and that's even like evolving further from that, like with 2012, like the world was supposed to end, and everybody was freaking the fuck out about that.
If I'm going out, I'm going out happy and around all my old shit.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's just how it is for me too. Like, I just try to enjoy it for like in the moment. It's just being, young, and we're not quite in our 40s yet. We're getting there.
No,
we're still enjoying the youth.
Yeah, I'm still sub 30. Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly.
Hold on to that for now. Yeah, only got a couple more years of that left.
It's just nuts. And pushy, man. 20 the world felt like it ended in 2021, and I mean, a lot of things
like
have been going down.
It's been ending since like 2019. It feels
like everything's just kind of spiraling out of control. Like this year, it's just been chaos as well. Just in terms of like gas prices, grocery prices, just an increase in everything. And it's like you start to make the big bucks when you get older. I don't feel like you're making the big bucks anymore.
I mean, speaking of which, like, okay, so pre market crash 2008, right?
Yeah.
Think if you made the current money you make now in 2000, say like 2001, even 2099. Hey, we were adults then. Oh my god, I would have all the toys.
Oh, 100%.
I'd have the full kitted out. I'd have all the accessories for the PlayStation 1, 2, the GameCube. And
yeah,
being an adult, you take care of your stuff more. So I actually wouldn't have trashed all mine or got rid of it.
No, dude. Like all the shit you had in the 2000s, dude. Like all your movies and everything, and Disney movies.
I'm just
or just things in general.
One of our audience members, Pushy, does. He mentioned the crypto crash recently. Yeah, it was like the new one. If you bought into crypto and thought holding it or you were gonna make a lot of money, especially now late in the game, I don't know, man. I really don't feel sorry for your losses because I mean, it's not really smart. It wasn't smart to begin with. I mean, it's just I feel like it's just another way to sucker you out of your money. I mean, there and that's what's the sad bit about today. Everybody's trying to sucker you out of something, right? Mm. But what didn't? Marbles. Marbles never suckered you out or anything.
Do me a favor.
You ever played marbles?
Yeah, do me a favor.
I'm good.
Please, just for the podcast. I just want to make sure it doesn't taste burnt.
If you think it tastes burnt, then probably
I can't taste it. Just do me a favor do it for the podcast real quick. Let's do it for the podcast. Real quick. Just real quick for the podcast. Okay, just real quick.
Yeah, Hassan, I don't really know the answer to your question for that.
Fine. If I fucking lungs turn black,
no, I mean,
see, you put to do it for the podcast. I just want to know if it tastes burnt to you. No,
it does because you probably didn't let it steep for 10 minutes.
It's been 22 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's kind of tastes a little burnt to me. I mean, they're horrible for us anyways. We probably shouldn't do those.
Yeah, your lungs.
So,
anyways, for marbles,
I did come up with a list, and it was and it really got me in the feels because 2000s was when you're getting a little bit older. And I mean, I was hitting double digits in the mid 2000s. So
had to grow up just a little bit.
No little kitty toys or anything like that. So
the biggest thing I regret though, speaking of toys, the Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies.
I shit you not. Have you ever seen people that try to sell those online now?
They sell for a shit ton, dude. I had so many Beanie Babies.
Does anybody? I don't even know if anybody actually buys those. You think I wonder if it's the same person selling it and buying it.
Yeah, for themselves. When you brought up the freaking toys, I'm like, I remember the Beanie Babies, and my mom used to buy me so much when I was younger. It's just like I miss that, I miss those because there's so much money. Like, if you guys were to go online right now, right, reply to you, whoever's watching this video and chat, you go online and look at Beanie Babies, dude. Holy shit, it's insane! It's insane. I used to have so many Beanie Babies when I was a kid.
A real coin, like, a coin op. Do you mean by like a coin op machine? I actually did recently have. It was a flip. It was a pinball machine. Bride of Pinbot. I had a Bride of Pinbot machine, and it was converted. But that was a nice little flip. I played it for a while. Arcades. Don't get me started. I've talked about arcades before. I'll talk about them again. Damn it, those are so fun.
Yeah,
and I mean, hectic as hell. Always had that one guy who was a bully, but they depicted him in the movies too, and it was always funny. Like, yeah, give me your quarters, bitch.
Yeah, I missed that, dude. I actually do. I remember I went to an arcade. It was right by Family Video and after right across from it. There used to be an actual arcade place. It's so nostalgic. Like I always love going to those, and Son asked what was the first game we played in our life.
The first game. All right.
You're gonna hate me when I tell you this, dude.
The first video game I played. I had to verify the console.
Mine was Pac-Man.
And mine was Ridge Racer.
Mine was Pac-Man on the fucking Atari.
My very first like home console game that I remember was like Ridge Racer. And I think it was on a Sega because I had a Sega. Yeah, it was
It tastes better now.
Okay. I want to say it's okay. Yeah, Ridge Racer came out in 1992, but
that was first game. I believe it was Pac-Man, but like console wise, I think it's between S and B or Donkey Kong. Because I remember my mom used to play that.
I can't remember what system it was.
Well, the Sega Genesis was good too, but it's more of a 90s.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis. That's what I had. That was my first home console. Was the Genesis, but my favorite was the PlayStation 2.
Oh, 100%. PlayStation 2. Far for the 2000s.
It's either right there or right behind it, and that's the GameCube.
Yeah.
And
the two consoles.
I'm not gonna include any of the handhelds. I'm not doing that because I always had a Game Boy on me,
right,
at all times.
But the majority of your time spent, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, it was the GameCube and PlayStation 2. I remember playing Desert Rogue. It was a Desert Rogue game. Quite fun actually. You kind of travel through space, and it's like top down little RPG.
Yeah.
Sort of. It almost is similar to Final Fantasy. It was of that style, but 3D.
Yeah. You always thought too, like back then, like the graphics were not going to get any better than that.
Oh, like how much time I spent in San Andreas?
Yeah. Oh, big time.
I mean, come on.
We played that at Kenny's house.
Oh yeah, we played that all the time. And I mean, San Andreas, like I've spent at least 1,500 hours into that game alone. And the funny bit is, I still never beat that last mission because I saved it, and I ended up stopping.
Yep.
Because I switched over to Champions of Norath.
Okay.
Champions Return to Arms. Or some shit like that. I don't know. It was great. I spent a lot of time on that game too.
Yeah, it was good because like even back then too, like speaking back to console in 2000s, like the first system we got, and I remember my mom bought us was an Xbox, like the original Xbox.
Never got one.
And yeah, I remember that was funny. Played Mecha Assault on there. My mom got me Jet Radio Future. I spent a lot of time on.
And you did play a lot of Halo.
Yeah, yeah, the Halo one, the Combat Evolved. I used to be like, I always thought the graphics were so good. I didn't think to myself like it would get any better than this, right?
Oh, it can't get any better than that, right?
Yeah, at the time, like you think about
little did we know. Now look what we have.
Yeah, like it's just Halo 5 was just completely adding but just I remember that, and my mom back then she had bought Pac-Man because we had a GameCube as well, like the black one, and my brother still has that, so that's got a lot of like value to me that my younger brother still has a GameCube that our mom bought us.
I had 4 GameCubes.
And that's
one.
Yep.
A purple. A silver. No, I had 2 purples, an orange one, and a silver one.
Yeah,
and I really wish I held on to all because they're fucking rare now.
Yeah, and I just remember playing Pac-Man World, like, because my mom was obsessed with Pac-Man. Like, even like when I was growing up as a kid, as a teenager, almost my teenage years, because my mom passed away at 12. But I remember she would always play Pac-Man World 2, I think it was.
Well, quick question then.
Yeah.
I do remember playing a Pac-Man game. It was more of an open world.
Yes, that's what it was.
3D Pac-Man platformer.
Yep. Then that was
Pac-Man World?
Yeah, it was Pac-Man World 2, though.
Oh, okay. I do remember playing that game. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
That was very fun.
My mom was obsessed with Pac-Man so much. That was like her favorite game. And that's when I was, starting up the whole video game thing. My mom showed me on the Atari. And you gotta think the Atari was made, back in the 80s? I didn't know about it. I was just sitting there, like, using the little joystick. I'm like, yay,
Yeah. You do have a couple of years on me.
Yeah, and, yeah, that was the best part of it.
You remember the game my mom was into? You'll never guess what, like, it was on the PlayStation 1.
Okay. It wasn't Pac-Man.
No, it was not Pac-Man.
It was not Pac-Man.
All right. I'm gonna say this, and you'll probably guess it right away. It required a guidebook, and it was thick. This guidebook was thicker than a Snicker.
thicker than like fucking someone throwing.
Okay, a couple Snickers stacked on top of each other.
It was like throwing it back thick, dude.
You don't have to. It just does it on its own.
Okay,
thick.
Fair enough. So you didn't really have to put them. Okay. Not Resident Evil. Fuck, dude. I can't really think of anything that required it was Final Fantasy, but like they had 4 or 5 different discs.
I'm already gonna stop you because you already got it wrong. It is Resident Evil.
Was it?
And it was the one, and it was the Resident Evil where Nemesis was introduced.
Oh, okay, the third one. Yeah, that one's pretty long.
I watched. Yeah, it was multiple discs. I watched her beat that game multiple times, and I think that's why I to this day I honestly prefer just to watch gameplay of Resident Evil.
Yeah,
it was a chore playing the game because it was just one of them nostalgic things. Like that was one of them things that me and my mom had shared. So yeah, no, it was fucking creepy. She actually loved it. It was good. She was good at it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
That beginning. You remember you're walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And it's in the very beginning. You go through the fucking dogs, and you're in this little tight hallway, wooden creaky ass floor, and all of a sudden you walk past this door, and all of a sudden they pop out of the door at you, and that's where you get the shotgun.
Well, yeah, Resident Evil 4. Speaking of Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 4 been in 2000s, man.
Mm-hmm.
By far, and like I know they're remaking it.
They've remade every.
Yeah, they have. I'm not a big fan of like the remake of 3. To be honest, and like people are gonna be opinionated about it, but they literally cut and cut and paste a lot of different shit. Like they had completely cut out a lot of the content that was in Resident Evil 3.
Well, when it comes to copy and paste, a remake should be a remake,
right? But that's
updated graphics, updated engine, new physics, lighting, and all that. That's on, and you keep the story, you keep the characters, you keep the dialogue, the missions, and everything. And you know what? At the end, or even at the menu, you should have a side story. If you want to change some shit on the game, there should be an alternate mission or an alternate story mode that you should be able to choose. And I don't understand why video game developers don't do this.
Yeah, I don't know. Again,
their
remakes,
like
it's
they should.
That money. It's like a money
building thing, right? Well, that's why I still refuse a pre-order.
Right, I get that entirely, but yeah, that was definitely fun. 2000s was really good before. I mean, and even Guitar Hero, right? That was made in the 2000s.
Yeah, that was my
that was the introduction in the 2000s.
That was my baby, was Guitar Hero.
You know,
that
you spent a lot
of time. My old man fingers can't keep up anymore. They're arthritic or something.
Can't do it through the fire and flames anymore, an expert?
No, not even close. I have tried to play other rhythm games,
right,
like Osu, and there's a few other ones. I suck. My reaction time is horrible.
Yeah, remember that freaking tile game that I downloaded when we first moved in this house?
What was it? Tap tiles or 3D tiles on the phone? Yeah. Well, we really didn't have much to do. There was nothing was set up in the house, so they're playing mobile games.
Yeah, and I was just like, just gotta kick back and kind of just look at it. I mean, like, just happy about where we're at.
Well, speaking of which, I mean, what about Legos?
Legos, yeah. I was big into
Legos.
I can't admit I was big into them. Like,
in the 2000s, definitely big into Legos. I built Legos. All sorts of shit. I would take the kits, build the kit, tear it down, and this is a sin to Lego enthusiasts, but I would just literally throw the whole thing in a bin.
Right.
And I just kind of color coordinated mine. And like I had a bin for like really odd specialty pieces, and then everything else was color coded, so the kit was lost. I kept all the books at the time, so if I take all the bins out, it's more of a treasure hunt trying to find the pieces, because you have a shit ton of pieces that do not belong to that kit. Same color, but yeah, and it was great.
Yeah, I missed that. But speaking of which, going back to a previous thing, Simon made a good point. Like Nintendo or Sony, like what had more nostalgia for you in the 2000s?
Sony.
Sony.
On the PlayStation, yes.
So that's where WHI comes in, because Nintendo had me hooked on a lot of shit when they offered a lot for the game.
I don't know. See, that's it's okay. Yes, exactly. Okay, all right. That's exactly what it is. All right. So DaLew just said it. All right. Yeah. It's the handhelds. Okay. Yeah. And remember, I couldn't categorize. I didn't want to throw the handhelds in there with my favorite systems, because I always had one on. Pokemon, Ninja Turtles, Dragon Quest, and The Legend of Zelda.
No, yeah, the Oracle Ages. I
think
I still have that. That was, I think it was in the 2000s. They had the Oracle Ages and Oracle Seasons. They had it on that fancy Nintendo Game Boy Color. Remember the cartridges or the little games they had that had like the see-through through it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Oracle Ages and Oracle Seasons.
My crystal version was just, it was like
the blue or whatever, and sparkly. Like,
yeah.
You always just like tears still
die on that one.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of it. I love the concept of it. Like just holding the shit in your hand. It brings you back.
Well, you had that's what we're missing now. You look at cars; they're boring. Cars in the 2000s, like they were really trying. It's that weird. It's just a weird era to me. They were trying to be kind of different and out of the box, stray away from the previous style decade of design, and it's goofy. It doesn't work. Some of it is mostly awkward, but it's got that special place, because it was so different. And I think the biggest thing with that was cell phones.
Yeah, that is true.
And music players. Cell phones and music players.
No, you forgot the Tamagotchis.
Well, Tamagotchis were 90s, weren't they?
No, that's 2000.
Was it?
Yeah. That's 2000. Okay. Tamagotchis, they had like the V1, V2, V3. Tamagotchis.
I'm still trying to source me a Tamagotchi.
And that's the thing, is like they're so expensive now.
Oh, yeah.
This is insane. And even if you look at the marketplace and everything, it's over $100 just like, I mean, I guess it's up to you if you want like sentimental value. Like for me, I always loved the V3 just because you're able to connect to like other Tamagotchis to get like that mystery gift.
Well, the other thing is, it's just we're adults now. We work, so if I see something I like and I used to have it and I want one, even if I'm going to put it in a display case, which I'm currently working on, I've got a lot.
Fucking nuts.
I've got a lot built up. You've seen my collection. It's not too bad.
But okay, Pushy, see, even Pushy knows what it is. But like,
what?
Tamagotchi. It's like his fiance still has the first Tamagotchi.
Exactly. They were
so amazing when we were younger because it's like they kept us like off our phones, right? Like we were just distracted with that.
No, we didn't have the phone. That was the. Yeah. What do you mean? There was no phones.
Well, we had cell phones in the 2000s. Honestly, where it's great.
I didn't get my first cell phone until I was about 14, 15 years old.
I'm just saying, like back in that time, like we did have phones.
My method
they're like
getting a hold of my friends
break them over
were the notes.
Yep.
Were either notes.
Yep.
I'm gonna yell across the classroom to you. I'm gonna catch you in the hallway.
Yep. Catch you outside. How about it?
Or I'm gonna knock on your door. Right. And that's kind of how it is. I'm just coming over to your house and I'm knocking on your door. Right. I'm knocking on your window. I know exactly which window you're at. So I'm gonna do that. And that's just how it was. I mean, now I definitely prefer someone to contact me before they come over because I'm just a grumpy old man. So.
But yeah, I remember I had Tamagotchis. Okay, how about this? Here's a throwback for you guys in the chat, and then when listening, skip it. Do you remember those things?
Tamagotchis, yeah.
No, skip it.
Skip it? Skip it.
Remember that toy that you would put around your ankle in the 2000s? They're called skip it.
No.
And you sit there and like throw it around in circles, right? And you just jump over with 1 foot at a time. Like I remember doing that, like playing like Tamagotchi.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
You know what you're talking about? Skip it. You had a little
right. It was all right. It looked like it was like a ball and chain, but
yes,
less. Oh, Heelys.
Yeah.
Yes. Heelys. Oh my God.
Yes.
I missed those. You can still get those. People still sell them.
Yeah. I know. I remember like skating through like the class and everything, looking all cool as shit.
That was why I gave mad respect to Grey's Anatomy because what's her nuts had Heelys on. She was the peds doctor.
Yep.
The blonde one. I can't remember her name, but she wore Heelys and it was great.
That is such a throwback, dude. But yeah, like they had Heelys, skip its.
Well, skip it. I seen, but like I didn't necessarily use those. I mean,
I use them all the time.
Skip it.
When my mom bought me that, I was like so just blown away. That was that time too. Like, we had Furbies. I hated those things. Those things were fucking scary.
All right. Well, another big thing was like yo-yos.
Yo-yos are so exactly.
But the 2000, yo-yos have been around for a while. But the 2000s brought that fucking yo-yo ball. Like, that's not the point of a yo-yo.
Yeah, and that's too.
That turned more into a fidget toy. Yeah. And I mean, my original fidget toy was you sticking a fucking pencil into a ruler and you spin it around because the school rulers had the holes in them.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't understand why they had the holes in them. I never understood that. I
never really understood that either.
Unless it was maybe to put in a binder. Now that I'm older and thinking about it, it was probably to put in a binder so you could maybe measure out on paper and shit. I don't know.
I mean, it's possible.
But no, you stick your fucking pencil in that middle hole and then you just fucking spin it and there's a little helicopter. You see how long you can balance it? God. Yeah, that was the original fidget toy.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was between that and the Bop It at the time. Bop It was made in 2000.
Well, having ADHD, I have memory issues, so I was never really good at the Bop It.
No, not even the basic one. It was like the 3 buttons, like the whole flick it, and spin it, and bop it.
Oh no, I got that mixed up with Simon Says.
Yeah, I was
Simon Says.
That's when we had all the cool shit, like even the silly bands. Remember those silly bands we had that were like shaped like fucking dinosaurs or like houses, and you put them on your wrist?
Oh, the silly bands.
Yeah, that's what they're called, silly bands. And I remember those.
God, the amount of waste and the poor turtles that have to deal with all that now.
I know, dude. But like, those are so fucking cool, though. No matter what, you have them on your arm all school, right? You take them off, and they shape right back into what it was. And I was like, bro, how the fuck do they did that? You know? You question a lot of that. One of the movies that had so much nostalgia in the 2000s.
I don't know. I don't know, but one of my all-time favorite movies is still Grandma's Boy. That was a 2000s movie. I did not. I was like I was kind of growing up too, and I was just getting into my smoking weed phase, and so I related to it because I also did live with my grandma, and you know, I've been her support system for since then to now still. So Yeah, like I fucking loved that movie, and I every time I think about that movie, dude, it brings me back to good old video game testing and all that because that movie did show a lot of what I miss about the 2000s.
Right. I think my biggest thing for like movies wise, Land Before Time.
Which
And
one?
dude, a lot of them took a big impact on me. But I think, to be honest, because the first one was made in the '90s, the second one was made in the 2000s. The second one, I loved it. I just love the fact that Littlefoot had like his adventure with his friends, with Sarah, with Ducky, with Petrie, with Spike, traveling around, and then like my mom was the one that got me into that because she had bought in the I think she bought like the first Ford on VHS. Um, that was really impactful on
That
me,
damn
because
VHS.
like I relate with Littlefoot because I don't have my mom anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that even till today, they're still making Land Before Time blows my mind away. Because they had just released a movie, I think not even like a year or two ago. I
Have
haven't
you
even
watched
watched
it?
it yet.
I was gonna say, have you watched it yet?
No, it was either that, and I remember like 2001 or 2002, Shrek was around too. That
Oh,
was
Shrek.
yeah,
Look, I'm so glad that popular culture brought Shrek back because
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, Shrek was such a good movie. I loved it.
it was.
And a little and I don't know if this is a wide known fact, but the whole point of Shrek was a whole hit on Disney, apparently.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't that's what a friend of mine had told me. I didn't really look into it. And I kind of just liked the story.
Mhm.
But so what he had told me was that that studio with DreamWorks
Yep.
was started by former Disney employees, and they were fed up with their shit. And apparently, Lord Farquaad was supposed to be the director of
That's
Disney or
funny.
some shit,
Yeah, I think
which is even better.
the first movie I seen in the early 2000s too, and I still remember that as the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. And I remember I was like,
Oh,
2000, I think it was 2004 when I was like,
SpongeBob. What was the title of that
it was
one?
just a SpongeBob.
Was that with the paddy wagon?
Yeah,
Ah, the
yeah, that's
fucking
in
paddy wagon.
2004. Yep.
Oh,
I
there
remember
was
I
some
begged my
David
mom.
Hasselhoff.
I just watched that yesterday too when I was streaming.
Mm.
Amazing movie. Always will love the movie. I love the art design of it. I love the silliness. It still had that 90s feel.
I think they did a solid. They did solid 3D for that.
Yeah.
They did pretty solid.
Oh, I loved it, man. Like
You
just
go back to 2000s, and
yeah,
someone that was introducing the 3D kind of era. They were trying to do more of a 3D and animation, and yeah, like
I miss
you
that.
watch shows like Jimmy Neutron, Code Lyoko,
Yeah,
and
I
holy
miss.
cow, were the animations bad.
Yeah, I gotta admit it was, but like you're so grateful for that opportunity to be like,
Oh yeah, someone's got to pave the way.
yeah,
Someone has to be able to improve, and that's just how it is. You always got
yeah,
to improve
yeah. I got
on
like
something.
the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh,
Missed that show.
Billy.
I loved it. Yeah, like he was stupid, but like the kid had like an IQ at points, right? And it's like some of the shit I'd never caught on to when I was
He
a
had
kid.
IQ point.
Yeah, he definitely did. There were some moments in the show where it made me laugh so hard. Um, Gotta give him props, man. Like that, whoever made that show, dude, knew what they were fucking doing.
No,
And like,
that was a good one.
yeah,
How many
Fox.
seasons? Do you know how many seasons that one went through?
I think like 4. It wasn't. It didn't last very long. Um, I'm not sure why. I'm assuming just because it was more of like crude math that we didn't catch on to as kids. Like nowadays we see it.
Right.
But back then there was just a lot of like subliminal shit that just like blew past us. Um, even like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I used to love that show in the 2000s. Loved it. Like the fact that when you're younger, you try to have that imagination, that you try to stretch your mind out. Um, they push you named off some too.
Almost Famous, Scary Movie. Yep, Shrek. Kill Bill Volume 1. Zoolander. I liked Zoolander and Spy Kids. Spy Kids was my shit.
I was gonna say Spy Kids was super popular day, and I won't ever forget that movie. I remember seeing that in theaters too. That was way back then, and yeah, so it makes you enjoy that. And then Hassan asks a simple thing: he's like, "Do you like life before smartphones or after?"
All right. So,
I liked, to be honest, I
okay.
enjoyed life before the smartphones. I mean, that's my personal opinion.
I love life after smartphones only because of the other shit that we have in this time period other than the smartphones. But I would prefer most definitely before.
But
it's really, I mean, it's hard that's a very good question.
I know it's a double-edged sword, and I'm probably just like saying this just off.
Now here's the thing. Am I adult? Do I go back to what with all my knowledge now in my current form back in time?
Right.
In this hypothetical, or do I revert back to my childhood?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a double-edged sword there.
Because
I think it's a good solid point. Like for me personally,
I think I might just. I mean,
I don't mind like the social media sites and stuff, but like it's caused like a lot of issues, like in terms of like focusing on getting stuff done nowadays because people try to involve themselves in the worst case drama, which again people are blessed for because we're able to see information that kind of leads to it. So again, it's just on and off, right? Like people are going to agree with it, people are going to disagree with it. Preferably, on my stance, it was just nice to meet people, right? Like you didn't know who they were, you didn't have all this technology. Even back in 2000s, like shit was rough. Like we still had like the fucking horrible internet or DSL modems, whatever.
Right.
But the fact that you're able to go out and have the courage to want to meet someone face to face, right?
Yeah.
And get to know them.
Or start a rumor and then everybody believe it because there's no one fact checking you.
Yeah, exactly. No one could fact check you on that, bitch, man. No one could ever fact check.
You're just out here.
Oh, he picked his belly button and I seen it. Like, no, I didn't, bitch.
Like, you shit your pants last week.
Yeah, I think I seen you shit.
And then everybody believes you. You tell one person and that person tells another. And then there you go.
Yeah,
you are now you're just a shitty person now, apparently.
Yeah, and that's
ew, dude, with your pants. Everyone's gonna believe it, right?
Right. Yeah, they can't fact check you. Back then, they couldn't fact check.
No one's gonna fact check you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, oh, this kid eats his boogers.
Right. That was the thing back then. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, it's a double-edged sword.
You don't like this dude? Oh, hey, you find who he's dating or who he likes, and then you know,
right?
You twist some things. Still no fact checking.
It's subjective, right?
And as a kid, you get a little evil with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was actually fun though. I was an asshole as a kid.
It happened.
Hey, it fucking happens. Well, I got bullied in my in like elementary years, and then halfway through middle school, I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna be the bully.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking stand up to you. Man. This is my fucking man, bitch. I'm the king of Roloff.
Long live the king, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, long live the king, and just throw him off, dude. Copyright. I'm sorry, Disney. Don't hate me. But
and we can just we can pull a DreamWorks on them and
just tell them long live the king and just throw
the next Shrek film.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. Just like the 2000s itself, man. It was so great. Like you had amazing toys, you had amazing shows. Like that'd be the Fairly Odd Parents. Like it's Told by Ginger, the Rugrats all grown up. It's kind of cool. Angry Beavers was a good one, and that was in the 2000s. Music wise though, dude, like music wise, dude, like Blink 182 back in the 2000s. That's literally
I absolutely love me some 2000s music because that's when I went through my emo phase, man.
Yeah.
You know,
that was.
I had such an attachment to music just because it is what it is. Music was great. It was an escape.
Yeah. Music was a big.
You get to.
That's
you get to express yourself through the music that you listen to, and that's just like an outward expression of yourself, and even an inward. And that was we had to have some of you watching or listening may not know that we had to have certain special devices other than a cell phone to play music called MP3 players. And they were a dime a dozen. They weren't standardized. Nothing at all. It was
just the CD itself, and you had your CD player.
Oh yeah, the stamp CD players.
God, I've been watching this. That when you walk to school or walk anywhere, like the fucking CD did not skip in your pocket, and I hated it, man.
I had this Dolby DTS silver. Well, took 2 AA batteries. Always had to have batteries, and I'd have it in my pocket. And see, I was either scootering around. At that time, for the CD era, I had my scooter and I had my skateboard.
Yep.
So
roller skates.
I'd be scootering around on my skateboard, and my discs would skip, but I deal with it. I don't deal with it.
I hated that.
I hated it.
It was so bad. It's like you get into your favorite song, right? And then you hit just like a little bump, just the tiniest bump, and that motherfucker would skip for like a good 30 seconds. You're like, bro, what the fuck, man? And you just be so angry. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, honestly, like I would go. High school was not bad. And really, middle school wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, so middle school
Elementary sucked just because of the home life, but yeah. I mean, I was a poor kid that went to school smelling like cigarettes. God damn it, they wouldn't fucking stop smoking around me.
Yeah,
it took me so long to drop the damn habit.
Yeah, my mom used to be that same way. And the connector for the car was a tape in the cord. Holy shit, I remember that. Back then, like we didn't have all that crazy shit we do now. Like, remember that tape that you put in the little cassette player, and then you like.
They didn't really start making. Yeah, they didn't start making those until the 2000s, and it was a great thing because that was when cars were starting to transition to the CD players.
Yep.
Instead of the tape decks. So, honestly, I still don't know how that works. It is amazing how that works.
Yeah, it's technology that like so we're so older now. It's like, I mean, it's just looking at it now from a standpoint when we actually physically have seen it. It was like God's gift to us. He's like, here you go, here's your invention. It's like, holy shit, man.
Oh, here's the Juke cell phone, something that was the best of both worlds at the time.
Hannah Montana.
And do you remember the Juke cell phone?
Yeah, I remember
it was this little tiny thin brick, like thin. It was think of a nutty bar.
Yeah,
it was about the size of a nutty bar, and you just kind of flick the side, and it would flip open, and out a taller nutty bar, thinner, and it was geared towards playing music. That was its main function. It had pause, play buttons. You had to have physical buttons on it because touchscreens were unfathomable right then. I don't think touchscreens were even. They were in professional use, commercial use.
No, we had touchscreen,
but not in.
Yeah,
not in commercial, not in consumer everyday gadgets. So physical buttons for everything. And that was the thing because we thought cell phones were supposed to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Right. So they did. It started off pretty big because they were limited by technology, and they did thin it down. And if you can, the Sidekick, yes, pushy. I never had one. I thought they were badass, but only drug dealers had Sidekicks. So you take that at that. Those are the only people who had Sidekicks.
I'll be honest, dude. In all my years, I've never heard of Sidekick.
That was like a sliding, flipping screen.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, like the boost. Okay. Yeah,
now they went in the right direction,
right?
Because they got as small as about the Juke. That was about the smallest phone I can think of. They even have smaller phones now, but they don't have modern. They're not modern tech, and people are going for these XL phones, iPhone XXL, quadruple XL. I mean, for a while, people were using the iPads.
Yeah, they were too.
Remember the iPad selfie era?
Yeah.
When they first, well, actually, no, that was kind of like when they first came out. Was
the Nokia 225?
Oh, actually, I have a note in here about the Nokia. Hold on, it was, it's right here. The Nokia 3310.
Oh yeah, I remember that thing.
The space
Impact. Yeah, dude.
Space.
They had all the cool games on there too. Like
you could bust someone up with a Nokia phone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that thing was a fucking tank. Like, imagine if Nokia, seriously.
My grandmother had one. I don't remember what.
I said this on like a previous episode, but like, dude, if Nokia literally were to invent cars, right?
Why don't they?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Nokia, man, you made like an indestructible phone. Why the fuck did you not?
I'm curious.
Make a car out of that.
I'm curious as to why LG doesn't make one. But then now I'm going to answer my own question. Is probably because they're owned by the same company.
Yeah, but it's insane.
They already make cars at a different company, most likely.
If they took that material from a Nokia phone, that's probably not fucking bomb.
That's what I miss. I miss when companies were their own companies when they say
they weren't bought out by companies. Like, if Nokia seriously made a fucking car, though, dude, I'm telling you.
Remember Linkin Park?
Linkin Park, yes.
That was their early 2000s. Was their
Hybrid Theory.
Was their Hybrid Theory. In the end, was my favorite. The music videos. They had good music videos.
Oh, 100%. I loved it, man. That was back then. You want to get your lip pierced. You want.
Yup. You're in your teenage.
You're like, I want to look like this guy.
Rebellion face. God, all that fucking teenage angst, man.
Yeah,
so cringy now.
Well, even that, like I said, even Good Charlotte and Blink, like Newfound Glory, and all these older bands. It's like you kind of sit there and stare at them, and it's like, bro, I want to be like that one day.
I did learn to stop idolizing after a while. I think after I started my first year of getting a job, I realized that I can't afford to live like those people. So I've instilled it within myself to not try to be like those people.
Hassan asked here a question: Does there are differences between outdoor life in the early 2000s and 90s, or do you prefer indoor life?
No. I can say no. My day to day was not different, other than I was born in '94. So mind you, in 2000 I was only 6. So I was outside playing with my friends, getting into shenanigans, and I didn't start doing that till about probably 4 or 5.
Right.
Because it's like there was always kids around. There was always kids in the neighborhood running around, and that's just how it was. You don't worry about fucking predators and weirdos snatching up kids. That was a thing. Like, you don't mess with kids.
Right.
Honestly, even dangerous criminals, like they other than pedophiles and shit.
Right.
They know not to fuck with kids. And that was the thing. Like, you're comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, that was
comfortable being outside. Like, now my time is the street light. Right. The street light, that was when I got to go inside. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd get the belt. And it only took about 30 times for me to learn.
It only took about 30 fucking blisters.
Well, that's because I don't really...
I get it. I was the same way with my brother. Like, we had to run home, dude, fast.
Yeah, playing, like, outdoor life, playing outside. I was riding a bike, playing marbles. We were playing card games, making stick forts out in the woods.
Yeah, I think when I was, like, I can talk about, like, 19 or 20 is when I actually started choosing, like, the indoor life, because, like...
Yeah, I didn't really start sitting more inside till the later 2000s.
Yeah. It's like my biggest thing.
It was still a healthy mix.
Yeah, it was, because I said during like the 2000s and stuff, I spent a lot of time still outside. Like a lot of my teenagers, and even like later on, being like 16, 17, being adult. That's when I first got my job was at the amusement park for Michigan's Adventure. But that was the thing. Is like I like to be outdoors, and then that's the thing I think I could tell you, whoever tunes into this, like. Enjoy the youth while you got it, right? Like, spend time outside. Like, don't keep yourself inside, secluded from the world. Like, go out. You're young. Go have fun. Go be you. Like,
and that's what we did.
Yeah, and I love.
I have so many scars.
I don't regret it.
I was climbing trees all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Even
I've broken
butterflies.
I sprained a knee. Mm-hmm. And broken a finger falling out of a tree.
Yep, I've definitely fallen on my spirit for trees, but no, Dolly had a point though. Like collecting ladybugs and caterpillars, and that's what I did when I was a kid. Right, when I was growing up, even as my teenagers, like going out and like catching spiders, um, trying to make like an ant farm and stuff, like trying to collect ants, having fun being young and being adventurous and being curious on how the outside world works, like like whether it be insects, whatever. Um, it was enjoyable, and then those were moments in my life, like I could tell somebody else that's young, like go out and enjoy life. Like don't be in your teenage or your kid years spinning it glued to a screen. Like go out and have fun with life, but obviously being cautious nowadays.
You can't do that now.
Yeah, nowadays.
And I'm not gonna, and I'm not gonna blame, and I'm not really gonna blame too many people. But here's the thing: the problem is that I feel like that crime was really probably there the whole time.
Yep.
But because information wasn't spread so fast, we didn't hear it as much.
No.
So now we have all this information at our fingertips, so we get to see all this bad shit that is happening, and it just is overwhelming.
100%. It sucks, man.
Therefore, it might still have been just as bad then, and I'm not gonna blame them now or be like, "Oh yeah, you should be outside." Well,
I think it's
I'm not outside all the time anymore either. I'm indoors with my devices when I'm not working, and I have a grand old time. I'm working on a project indoors, I'm doing something, in the garage, whatever. But it's you typically going to be indoors,
right. Well,
and
the biggest thing I can tell people though, like just try what you can to spend some time outdoors and kind of learn about like nature and stuff itself. It definitely is interesting. That's a big thing. Yeah, that's a good point that I point out too. Like I don't know how we're out there for so long. I just think we were so distracted with like having so much fun with the goofy stuff we did, whether it be just biking around or like climbing trees.
I'm gonna bring you to a dark room right now. I just didn't want to be home.
Yeah, that too.
I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't want to be home. It was just shit for me.
Yeah,
it was horrible. Didn't want to be home. So I found any excuse to not be home.
I don't even blame you.
And that was just the thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, I ain't gonna shame my game. I didn't even want to be home either. I was like, it just sucks.
Oh, athletic, you had that outdoor kid bod.
So
I was slender,
right?
Well, a lean string bean.
You're all bean.
So
I had a question though. Childhood, teenage, and your 20s years. What is feeling the best for you? Now, my best feeling, I think, was in my childhood and my teenage years. I loved it. I didn't have to worry about working. I didn't feel like there was a responsibility besides getting a few chores done here and there. Just the freedom of not having to work, right? Not having to pay bills was a great thing. You could sleep in, man. You could hear the birds chirping. You already know your friend just texted you or like came over, and your mom or dad's like, "Hey, your friend stopped over," and you're already excited. You're like, "Oh, bro, I'm gonna go see him right now or her," right? So you're all ready to go. No responsibility. Skateboarding over there, scootering, roller skating, whatever happened.
Right. You have a fun mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Some silly mode of transportation is going to get you there.
Yeah.
Even just your 2 feet, 1 foot wheelchair, you're making it there.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm sorry to hear about that, DaLew, but yeah, to answer your question, Hassan,
all right, like
I feel like oppression is the thing. I mean, like we got bullied a lot.
I'm gonna say that I would most definitely prefer my teenage years, just mainly because the only responsibility I had was getting making sure I passed my classes.
Yeah, that was
graduate high school. That was the main goal, and I did that. So it's that there you go.
I miss that shit like a lot. And just like not having to work, not having to really worry about much, I think was the biggest thing. Teenage years, definitely, I loved them a lot. My childhood, I think I cherish them most just because of like all the stuff that I got to physically witness. And then growing up, you realize like, how much value that item is, right? It's a big thing, and it's cherishable. You always hold it in your heart, and you won't ever forget that. enjoyed it. Enjoyed it more than anything.
Well, that's why we're sitting here talking about it.
Yeah. And then the biggest thing is like this charity.
And that's why we're going to keep talking about it.
Yep.
And like, there's going to be more episodes. This podcast, if you haven't realized, isn't just about one particular thing.
Well, it's about a lot of things.
We're always going to talk about current events here and there, past events. It is kind of think of it just as a talk show, really. But our passion is video games, all the retro 100%. Cartoons, our classics, stuff that we grew up with.
I think about
honestly, it's nostalgia is our thing that we like to do here.
Right, and I'm thinking like for next week's episode though, dude, pulling out our old games.
We might have to get the good old systems hooked up out here. We'll sit up on this couch.
I think it'd be fun, to be honest. I feel like a lot of people would enjoy that.
What do you have to bust out? What do you think? What do you want to do?
A whole storage, so. And my brother's got every other system in the console.
We need the Nintendo 64.
I already have that.
Okay. Do you have a Sega?
In storage.
When can you get into your storage?
Message him.
Oh, see, look at that. All right, yeah. Let's get that into the works because
work is better than school or not. No. To be honest, I'm gonna answer you this right now. The most school was better. And I hate to say this. Yes, it sucked getting up in the morning. I didn't mind it. I got up anyways. School.
I tell you, if I would have way better if I was getting paid to go to school.
Right, but in the sense of you feel like school was better for you. Like you didn't have to worry about bills and shit like that.
Okay, it was great. It was great, only for personal experiences.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't have to.
But it was a waste of time, and I really wish that they would have taught more life skills. Yeah.
That is the thing.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah, DaLew's got a point. Yeah, work does pay you.
Work fucking pays. I mean, I get to buy my shit.
Yeah. Instead of having to ask your parents and stuff. And that's the thing schools lack. It's it's the whole guidance to life itself, in terms of mortgage or credit, down.
Hey, at least you're working. Even if you got one of those, you're working towards it. You don't work, you're still gonna work towards it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Don't be a fucking butthole.
Right. Well, I get that.
If you have the capabilities, you're eventually gonna want to be on your own. You strive to be on your own. You strive to have your own thing, and that's what you want, right? Well, work does that.
Yeah.
Work will help you get there.
Well,
school will too, but then just because you got an education doesn't mean you're getting something.
No. I mean, again, it's a broken thing with that, and I wish schools would teach you more about being an adult and what to expect, what not to expect if you do this, and this is so and so X and Y as consequences. There was just nothing really for them to show us, right? They showed us what we needed supposedly to know. Again, it's just. It's I guess
that's why I would be a shit parent.
Oh,
I'm not gonna show you anything.
Right.
I'm gonna sit back and let you figure it out.
But I was always blessed for snow days, dude. Tell you when I was a kid.
Oh, snow days were the best.
I loved it, man. When you turn on the channel 3.
Oh yeah, we had to go to the news channel, and on the bottom maybe going on it, there'd be a scroll. There'd be that scroll of the
I loved it.
Your county.
That was just the biggest thing I was so happy about. You woke up in the morning.
Oh, there it is. Let's go.
Yeah, you go right back.
And then you go back to bed.
Yep.
You wake up and then you play in the snow. I got everything. Got your layers on. Building an igloo, doing something.
Right.
I enjoyed running around the neighborhood and throwing snowballs at passing cars because that was
definitely
being a little
funny. Yeah.
Wait, what are you gonna do? Stop on ice? Good luck.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know.
I was always a hooligan as a kid.
Oh yeah, I was an asshole.
If we grew up trained for survival, then we wouldn't have been able to be a kid. Exactly, and that's a good point that I brought up. Like a lot of shit we
Balance.
learned.
That's why you need balance.
Yeah.
You still want to be a kid, but I need more I needed more structure. I had like no structure, all kid.
Right. And it's again, it's just like I cherish.
And I'm pretty damn dysfunctional.
I think we all are like that at one point in our lives. You know, and it's just like we have to figure out like where we're gonna go from our point, you know, and like obviously us now it's different compared to what we were back then. But like the biggest thing is I cherish my teenagers. I love the fact of like snow days, being happy about it, to being able to call my friend on an actual fucking phone, on a cell phone, because I have his fucking number. It's just like beep 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 beep. It's just like, what's up, man? What's up, homie?
Yeah, you remembered phone numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
I still remember my wife's. It's about my wife's and my grandmother's phone numbers are the only numbers I remember. That's it.
I don't remember. I can't remember my phone number.
Despite like back then, your first cell phone, you're like, oh, it was
Yeah.
it was in it was in that 2000s era.
I remember Pushy's number back then, like Blue Cam. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's nowadays it's different compared to how it was when we were growing up. And there's just so much things that I cherished in the 2000s, man. All the collectibles we had, to all the games, to all the music, to just everything.
I think I would cherish it more if I still had them.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's
if I still had those.
Again, it's just the issues we have now with real life compared to what we had when we were just kids. And always will that. Always be memorable in my heart. But yeah, so I'm thinking next week we should do some fucking retro stuff.
Yeah, we need to do some couch co-op, just like it used to be. And I think our audience would enjoy that. I think our friends will really
I think
really like
see a huge throwback to when we were kids, and then obviously, younger viewers will be like, holy shit, like.
Well, we got to dust off. We got to dust off the systems, anyways. I don't have any, but I have a PlayStation 1. I recently acquired. That was a
capture card.
That was a Goodwill find. Got a Goodwill PS1 find. The original PS1.
Do we have a capture card for that though?
No capture card. It's gonna be raw. We're doing it. We're gonna do it raw. We're just gonna have a camera pointed at the TV.
Should we just go raw? Like back in the old days when they recorded everything on the phone?
What do you guys think? We don't have a capture card, and we're plugging it into a TV. What do you guys think? Should it be old school, kind of like even retro feel on it? Just record the TV and us on the couch, or what? Try to get a capture card, split it.
That was a good question.
I honestly like the gritty. I would like a more grittier version because
it captures that old feeling.
Yeah, that's what I would prefer.
Right.
And it's a lot easier. But I don't know. We do have people watching, so.
Well, I guess we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
If I have to look into it, it's fine.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, we do what we have. We do have a retro, game exchange sort of place, down the road from us, and well, I have a PlayStation 1 with no games.
Maybe we'll look for some.
What were some PlayStation 1 games that you really did?
Spyro the Dragon was good. I know that was brought up in chat. Spyro was a really great game. Crash Bandicoot.
Well, you also have to think too.
And also the Rugrats on there.
Well, market price.
Machines. Yeah, I know.
I guarantee let me just see.
Okay. Well, Jansen looked it up.
I'm gonna go for shits and gigs. Okay,
I gotta go finally break the seal.
Grab me another beer. Crash Bandicoot.
That means I have to get my ass up and then go get you.
PlayStation 1. Okay. Well, it's okay. So yeah, we're gonna have to go to eBay for this. Oh, you know what? That's not bad. It's honestly not bad. I see, you got Crash Bandicoot Warp Sony, and it's complete. It's got the case, $18. It's not terrible actually. So Crash Bandicoot 2, they only have the disc, $8. And that's the shitty part about discs too, because you never know if they're gonna work unless you see them. Because when you're familiar with the discs, you're like, you know the patterns, you know what to play. Just from personal use. Now, buying discs online, so sketchy. I mean, yeah. And I feel bad for anybody who does not have a local retro store. Oh, I also have to figure out what format my PlayStation is as well.
Not sponsored, by the way.
No, my beer, fool.
Where's your beer?
In the fridge. Yeah, don't mind that. Okay. They have 6. Look at this game package right here.
Give me that beer.
Okay.
Take this one.
Yes, thank you. Look at this game package right here.
All right, let me take a look at this game package. I'm back, guys.
So, there's 6. You got Spyro Year of the Dragon, Spyro 2, Gateway, Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot 3.
Oh, yeah, Crash Smash.
Crash Team Racing and Crash in their first Crash Team Racing, right? $64 for all 6.
Crash Smash, dude.
$64 for all 6.
Okay. I definitely have to look into it for sure.
That's not too bad, but the other discs weren't that bad. So we're gonna have to go take a trip take a trip down the road and see what they have in stock.
100% I'm not worried. But yeah, so we'll see that next week.
Well, you know what then? I think that's a good time to wrap it up then. And I think it was good to let some of that off my chest about some early 2000s. We dove even a little bit behind that too, but still,
it was so nice. For everyone tuning in, thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Much love to you guys. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the love. And that's do it. We'll see you guys next week on Saturday.
Yes, next week tune in for our couch co-op stream. And honestly, well, everybody slacked on giving us a suggestion. So what we're gonna do is we're actually just gonna go old school with it. Yep. No capture card. We're doing raw. We're gonna raw dog it.
I wish we had a CRT TV.
I really wish we did have a CRT, and that's sad bit. But it is what it is. So everybody have a great rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Enjoy your night. Be safe. And take care.